Okay, so I wanted to get this this lichen rock, because lichen rock, very good Pokemon. I was really hoping for a long time they would add a wolf Pokemon, and I love it. But it doesn't have a name, so I think in honor of this conversation, we have to name it Miss Disaster. 7 a.m. I appreciate you being here. I don't have enough spaces. Yes, we are full hyper offense right now. I'll just go with this. It'll probably be important for what do you call it? Aster and Eclipse. I chose the wrong form. No. I like day form best. Dusk form is also good. I don't have strong feelings. I think I have like a slight preference for day over dusk. Are we emotionally prepared for the explanation behind Titania and Amaria? I am as prepared as I possibly can be, which means no. Let's go ahead and do this cutscene first, just so that I'm not only talking about this, and then I'm going to explain some of the context of this. Did I already get that? Wasn't there an item? Yeah, one of them was. I could feel it. I knew I would do something like that. Probably because I'm the one who did it. Very impressive. Okay, so let's just read this thing for now. So you got the badge. Amaria is out for a walk, so I'll fetch the machine. It's a mess in the back, so I may take a while to find it. Just wait here. Okay. Oh. I forgot that I made this the same scene. I'm so used to the E18 version. Amy, you're back? Where's Tanya? Ah, just getting surf. Right. Maybe this is a good way to relay what I found then. Or a good time to relay what I found. You got a Splatoon ad after you logged into your account? No, I'm not getting distracted by dialogue, but hi, Esforcia, welcome. By dialogue, chat. Okay, I'm focused. I'm the most focused person in the universe. Or what I haven't found, really. I started looking into Titania, and it's all coming up zeros. God damn it, I immediately fell for the distraction. Shit, no, I'm not looking. I have to focus on the thing. Aside from what's going on in Agate and Labradora, there haven't been any reports of suspicious individuals around here, and apparently the road to Amatrine City is all but completely blocked off somehow. I went down to talk to the folks at Agate Circus, and from the sound of things, Titania is supposedly very nearby indeed. I can't shake the feeling. I keep thinking, what if it's closer than I want to admit? Lies and deceit right in front of my eyes that I chose to stay blind to. Tanya can be distant to the point of evasiveness. And isn't it odd how adamant she is against us getting involved with Team Meteor? Plus there's the name. Real quick mention, this whole thing about casting suspicion on Titania was always intended for this part of the game. It just sucked before. Like, as of the E19 updates, I was able to support it a little bit better. But there was always supposed to be this doubt of whether it was Terra or Titania that was the Team Meteor agent, and because of the online league and Titania being who she is, I definitely assumed that everybody would suspect her before Terra. And that was generally true, but the build up to it was still, I would say even blink and you'll miss it was generous. So I was glad to be able to do that with Ace for E19. I haven't asked her directly because if she knows we're on her, that could be problematic. But I don't even know what I would do if it turned out to be her. If only there were some way to... What's this? This is her writing. Lying to her. Imprisoned by her own secrets. Fake fairy tale romance. Here, as promised. What are you doing? Are you two reading through my journal? Now, I believe the relationship point here is to be honest about it. Yes, we are. That's personal writing. Stay out of it. Both of you. Tanya? What is all this? It's just notes. For a story. Not that it's any of your business. Oh, so it's just a story. Saying this, she casually threw aside a large rock. That's good. So, all this about lying to her and only pretending to love her. It's for a character. Right, of course. Hey, Tanya? Does the name Titania mean anything to you? No. Why? No reason. I was just curious about what it looked like when you lie. Excuse me? I get it now. You never really loved me, did you? What are you talking about? Are we really going to go over all this again? How many times have we had this conversation? How many times have you lied to me? What? Go on, give me a number. Will you tell me you've always been honest? Can you really look me in the eyes and say that to me? I knew it. And here I've been drinking up every single thing you've ever told me. There shouldn't be a comma there. Like, it's awkward now in 19 for people who've played the game before, because you know that it's Terra, but from what I heard from first-time players, it's gone over better. The comma is probably for the pace, but I dislike doing that. I try to stay more conventional than that. I'll be talking about the story behind this after these cutscenes. Even when I thought I knew better, I let myself believe it because I couldn't stand to tear myself away from you. Yeah, the Shakespearean pronunciation, which is, I feel like, equally appropriate for her as somebody who goes on to write fairy tales and is in the fairy tale gym. Fairy queen, you know. Can be for pace and for effect, like how FF8 was written. Well, and even if some other places have localized with that, I made the choice to not do that here. I'm getting distracted again. I loved you. I still love you so much. I don't know who I am without you. Stop. When we were together, it felt like you were always picking up the pieces of my heart, all made of glass, and gently placing them back together. Okay. So that lying about the glass heart is an actual thing that was said to me. So I'll just put that out there, and then I'll come back to that after these things. I said stop. And now it's just shatter again. That too. That was the second part of that same line. Amaria, seriously. Amy? Come on, let's go after her. She obviously wants us to. Making these things flow directly into each other in the rewrite solved me so many eventing issues. I'm not fucking kidding. This was such a huge pain in the ass until I did that. Come here to lie on my face some more. What do you even want me to say here? I want you to tell me the truth. What truth? I don't know what it is you're expecting to hear. Why don't we start with Titania? I have no idea what that even is. I bet. Amy knows what I'm getting at. Literally, what are you talking about? You're being ridiculous. Amy, you know she's in the wrong here, don't you? I am not going to side with Amy on this one. Just so everyone knows, I love both of these characters. Like, they're still both within my top 3 or 4. Probably 3. but for this, for what we're talking about today, I'm siding with Titania. What are you hoping to accomplish by dragging a third party into this? I'm trying to hold you accountable for this betrayal. Like, Titania is probably top one, and then, you know, Lynn is in there somewhere. It's like Lynn, Titania, Amy for me. What betrayal? We know you're working with Team Meteor. Okay, there's been a misunderstanding. I've been giving them false information to keep them from finding you. If that's what this is all about, we can relax and go home. Then why all the secrecy? Why all the comments about lying? The defensiveness? The cold silence? I love you so much, and I would accept anything you ever shared with me. So why don't you? Because you don't love me. It's not that simple. You don't love me the way I love you. Tell me I'm wrong. That's what I thought. I care about you more than anyone else in the entire world. But you don't love me. You were only pretending to. I couldn't stand the thought of you doing something, of you hurting yourself, just because I wasn't able to return your feelings properly. If I had a choice, I would, in a heartbeat. At the time, when it first became official, I thought I shouldn't let my own lack of emotions get in the way of your happiness. I thought if I stuck with you, if I really devoted myself to you, maybe you'd get better. Or maybe I would start to feel it properly. I just had to keep things stable until then. And I see that worked out great. I wish it had. I'm sorry. I don't want you to apologize for your feelings or lack thereof. I want you to apologize for lying. For years, for all that is wholly lying all of this time? How many times have we kissed? How many times were you just doing that for my sake? I don't think you want me to answer that. Right? I bet. You assured me otherwise how many times? All just out of what? Pity? Not pity. I thought it was compassion. But I know it was misguided. You were my world. I guess I was just your prison. Well, it's okay. I can set you free now. I didn't want you to do something stupid just because of me. Just because I'm cold-hearted and made a mistake, and the cost sunk more every day. What was I supposed to do? I thought if I told you, or even if I just rejected you in the first place, that you would go over the deep end, and... Well, maybe you were right. Amy, wait. Other Amy. I'm going after her, but I don't have a way back up. Figure it out. Do I have a second name? The problem is that Amethyst, Ame, and Amy are all confusing in this game, and those are the names that I go by. Okay. Where do I start with this? Okay, so why was Reborn made? That's... no, I have to start earlier than that. So, I have been working on games in some form or another since I was 11. 10. actually. RPG Maker was since I was 11, and I became very active in RPG Maker communities. I have to remember the way up. So in one of those RPG Maker communities, I met somebody who would go on to become my best friend. And we are going to call him K. I do still share one server with him, and, you know, it's not impossible that he would technically be watching the stream, and this is about my experience. This is not meant to attack him for it. Yes, that's my self-insert character. I don't really love having a self-insert character, but that is what that is. I don't want to be in this fight, especially with a Lycanroc in front. So like, I'm going to talk about this stuff from the point of view that I've experienced it, but this, you know, it's a long time ago. I'm not still trying to make this like an active thing. It was just what informed this story, that these characters that I first started working with 13 years ago by now. So I met this person, Kay, and we exchanged a lot of like game development information and stuff, and shared community spaces, and went on to become good friends. And at the same time, I was in high school at this time, that he and I started talking. So yeah, when I first made the characters, I was 17. And what I'm going to be talking about, let's see, I met him when I was 14, and most of what I'll be talking about happened when I was 16. How do I say this in a way that's not going to immediately alarm everyone? I'm going to also be talking about, let's say, non-violent sexual assault. So, just trigger warning for that for everyone. And I want to emphasize the non-violent there. So he and I got to talking online, and also, when I was in high school, I met a girl younger than me. She was a year below me. Her name, we'll call her M. And M and I got to be friends, and she had this style of friendship where she just needed to be in constant communication with somebody all the time. You know, she was like non-stop texting. I think, you know, I don't remember by now, but she would send like, you know, 40,000 texts in a month or something. She was proud of her usage statistics. And somehow, I don't really remember how, K and M got to talking, and she kind of, yes, this is exactly, so this is a lot of what I referred to in the Okami play. I didn't talk about it in as much detail as I'm going to here. I've told a few specific people about it over the years, but I've never talked about it publicly. I kind of danced around it in the Okami thing, because I also didn't want to talk about my personal experiences as specifically related to the characters. So this is the same thing. So K and M got to talking, and me, and so we did a lot of three-way calling, and to the point that in my sophomore, junior year of high school, all the three of us were talking on the phone basically constantly, you know, like, except when we were at school, non-stop communication. Sometimes we even slept on the phone together. It was kind of nice in a way. It was also extremely codependent. Let's do this thing first. Oh, Amy, you caught up with us quickly. Yo. Hey girl, hey. So, you know how I'd said how far I could get on the way to Amatrain? Well, you're looking at it. As you can see, it's totally on ice, so to speak. So, Amatrain's a snowy city, right? Almost unfailingly. Being on the tallest mountain peak in the region will do that to you. So, just out of curiosity, how do they get food up there? Wait, what do you mean? Well, it's too cold to grow anything, so I assume they import it. Excuse me. But if there's no road there... Wait, you think they're locked in without any supplies? I don't know. It's just a thought. All the more reason to bust through. Gigalith! Aye, Gigalith, let's tear through that ice. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Not even a dent. Yo, for real? If Gigalith can't scratch this ice, there's no way anything will. What is this stuff made of? Ice? Oh, yeah. No, that's weird, isn't it? It's shaped weird, harder and thicker than normal, and doesn't break. Yeah, something's off. I don't think even fire types would get through this. Trust me, I know all about things that are thick and hard. I'm going to rip out both of my eardrums. Gigalith, return. Giving up? Hell no. We're gonna find another way. Let's get some help from Calcinon. The other leaders are up there fighting Two Meteor, but maybe some of them can lend a hand. Is it far? I'm not exactly used to mountain hikes like this. Not at all. In fact, it's just right around the corner. We'll slip out through up here, cash in on some assistance, and be back by the end of the set. Sure, whatever. Let's just go. Okay, so the three of us got, somebody asked about sleeping on the phone. Like, we would just, stay on the phone until we fell asleep and just left it on until the morning. Like, it was literally, except for when we were in class, and even then we were probably still texting, constant communication. So, that was fine. I'm really not a social person either. And I was a lot more defensive back then. And when I say defensive, I mean like, somebody would ask me, how are you doing? And my response would be, why do you want to know? And that was also at the point in my life where like, this is a Florinia thing, actually. This is something I gave to Florinia. I used to avoid saying the word I. Like starting any sentence with the subject I, because I felt like it was inherently arrogant to talk about myself. What did I just do with my bobby pin? Let's just take that out. So I was a super closed off person. I know, right? A teenager, go figure. But I'm still very much an introvert, but I made an exception for them. And I was mostly there to support them. Neither K nor M were very emotionally stable people. K in particular was, I believe, depressive, bipolar, borderline, that whole gamut. He also had some minor substance issues and self-harm, and of course he was suicidal. Occasionally. Yeah, so part of the bipolar thing was, sometimes he'd be super manic and sometimes he would be, yeah. And M was, I would say, a lot more stable overall, which is probably good because, M was the one I knew in real life. But she did not have the best family environment. It wasn't the worst either. It wasn't the best. But in the time that we were talking, you know what? I need to go on a tangent here. And again, I'm going to be talking about sexual assault, so if this is a sensitive subject, triggering subject for people, please, maybe catch this one on the YouTube when you are emotionally prepared for that. So one of the things that Reborn gets criticized for being edgy about is the inclusion of sexual assault in some of the character backstories. There are people who say that this is a Pokemon game and it is flatly inappropriate to include that kind of subject matter in this. And I can't say they're not justified for that. However, I also disagree. Like, I understand their opinion, but I patently disagree. It is not that this is the most appropriate venue for it, but it is way too hugely taboo overall. I strongly believe that it needs to be dealt with more. And where this is the thing that I've spent 10 years making and trying genuinely to put as much of myself and my emotions and my experience into as possible, I don't think that I should have not included it. I recognize that my experiences are not universal. However, my experiences are a lot more common than the representation of sexual assault in media would lead us to believe, and I think that it is both my right to talk about these things that have been part of my life in such a way, and it is, let's say, I don't want to say like moral or ethical, but I think that it is beneficial to be including it more in the overall media narrative. So there is something, a statistic, like 1 in 4 women have experienced some form of sexual assault. That's a huge number. Most of it does not get reported, so it's not on the books in the same way, but that is also a common statistic. And in my life, especially at the time that I was a teenager, the percentage of women I knew that had experienced some form of sexual assault was not quite, it was less close to 1 in 4 and more like 1 in 1. I see, like, seriously, this is only counting my circle of friends, which is obviously a very biased statistic. Like, this is not scientifically reputable. But every single person I was intimate with had experienced, not intimate, like intimate, but like close to, had experienced some form of that. There's some cause and effect here, because people who have similar experiences and communicate in similar ways are naturally going to attract each other. So I'm sure that it's definitely the case that I just happened to gravitate towards people who had that kind of experience. But for every single close female friend I had having been through that, and there is almost zero handling of it in media, at least the media I had been exposed to at the time, that is unacceptable. So please understand, if I am very adamant about including these things in what is a Pokemon game, it is just because my experiences are so grossly at odds with what I see in other media. And I feel like that needs to be changed. Saphira and Lynn came up as well. So this is another, your experiences are not universal, but child sexual assault. I'm not going to talk about specifics right now. It has not happened to me in particular, but it does run in my family. And so this is something that I have grown up with, it being an active, close part of my life. So a lot of people are just horrified that I go that far, and that might be fair, but this is another case where, you know what, for my experience in my life, this is just a realistic, this is just something that has been, 20 feet to my left. So I don't think that it's inappropriate for me to deal with it in that way. Let's see, there was one more thing I was going to say. What was it? Oh, the other thing, this is just another example of how this subject matter has been up close and personal to me my entire life. My father, when I was a kid, and this isn't bad, don't worry if anybody's feeling anxiety right now. My father's primary employment was specifically working with polygraph machines, so that is a lie detector, prosecuting, not like doing the prosecuting, but gathering evidence for prosecution of special offense sexual offenders, specifically as regards to minors. So my father focused on clients who were accused of violating minors, usually in an aggressive manner or through grooming. So this whole concept of grooming, of pedophilia, is something I grew up being intimately aware of since I was 6 or so. And one of the things that my father did that may not have been a good decision, let's say, is he would often talk about his cases on the phone in earshot of me. Actually, he was not exactly super emotionally stable, and if he was upset with me, or actually not even just if he was upset with me, it was common for him to pick me up, shared custody divorce situation. It was common for him to pick me up and not say a single word to me. Sometimes that was just because he was upset, but usually it was because he was talking on the phone. And often when he was talking on the phone, it was sometimes the, let's say, nitty-gritty details of his cases involving these offenders. Which sucks, that probably didn't do me any favors. Neither did I feel like it was a super big deal. This is just to say that, I have grown up, like, with this 5 feet in front of my face the whole time. So I recognize that I probably have a bit more willingness to talk about these sorts of things than most people. Okay. Let's watch this scene to kind of take a breather. But that's my whole soapbox on the inclusion of sexual assault. So, thank you all for bearing with me. I just want to say I appreciate everybody's sympathy with this in general and willing to take and discuss the matter seriously. I'm very grateful for that because I know this is such a touchy subject for a lot of people. Here's Amy. Great. Calcinon's just right up these stairs, so let's not waste any more time. Yep, there's people counting on us. Whoa! King, are you alright? Fine. That laser blast just barely missed me. Hey, you do care. I'm going to get to that in a sec. About when it was mentioned. What? No, don't be stupid. That attack came from right over Labradora City. Something's going down. Forget that. Something's coming down, too. Is everyone alright? All clear here, if barely. What's the sitch? Team Meteor has occupied Labradora City and is using pulse machines to control the area. Aye, we heard about the Pulse Mr. Mime on the news and came to help. That's not the problem anymore. Another one! What is that? Pulse Claude, sir. They're sieging Calcinon from afar. I'm doing my best to deflect the attacks, but they've got to land somewhere. Sorry for the collateral damage. No big deal. I just saw my life flash before my eyes. So, I'm guessing that was like watching a split-second porno? The dialogue was slightly better. Can we not? I'm getting back to it. If you need to get into the city, use the eastern entrance. So much for right around the corner. No sweat. Route 3 used to be tough, but the cities of Calcinol and Labradora spent a lot of time bridging up for a smooth road. It'll be a straight shot, no prob. Let's roll. Okay, so the reason that we just went on that entire tangent... right, there's no ladder yet. The reason we just went on that entire tangent is because I was talking about the dynamic between M and K and I. Those are 3 completely different letters. So in the time that we were talking, M ended up also suffering sexual assault. And so I think that's part of why we ended up talking all the time, is because it very much became we were her active support system for dealing with that trauma. It was touchy. So let's see. I'm not going to go into details about that, but you know, she was also a minor at the time. It's just another example of here is fucking every person I know dealing with this. Hello, Pyrrha, welcome. Oh, God, what did I just say? What did that just say? I just clicked buttons. That was like, yeah, hang on, mate. Aya, or Hardy, Kane, or whatever, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, great. Glad. I'm out here fucking clicking buttons like it's nobody's business. Yeah. Are you both alright? I'm good. Splitting headache, though. That rail hurts. We're solid, but give me a minute. Jeez, first Terra and now you slam into the rail? You've really taken a beating, and not in a good way. There's a good way to get beat? I'll have to show you sometime. Don't you dare. Sorry, sis. Didn't mean to make you jealous. I'm not jealous. I hope you get crushed under the bridge next time. Whoa, take it easy there. Look, we're fine. Even though one of the stray blasts took the bridge out while we were on it, we're all still in one piece. We'll get through this. So much for a straight shot. No worries, we got this. But because of Team Meteor, this area does seem to be a bit dangerous. Aye, let's stay close and move quickly. Amy, take care of Aya for me, will you? I can take care of myself. Of course you can. Then Aya, take care of Amy for me. We'll go on ahead. Peace. Catch up with us as soon as you can. And don't worry, I'll be gentle with your boyfriend. He's not my boyfriend! Wait, just what are you planning to do to him? So I'm with you, huh? Sorry, I didn't mean for that to sound so mean. Look, I'll try not to bother you too much. Let's just go find them, okay? Big shout to Crim for redoing these maps, by the way. They were shit before. And we were in the middle of testing already when I'm like, okay, God, every time I see these Route 3 maps, I take psychic damage. Crim, do you want to just redo them? And they fucking pumped it out real fast. If this bridge only just went down, the other's probably something or other. I just clicked too fast. I'm clearly a mess right now. Bless you.
You're usually a mess, aren't you?
That's true, which means we'll be even further behind. Great. Oh, yeah, and partner dialogue before we miss it. The others will be okay, right? Don't tell them I asked. Hey, thanks for putting up with me. Don't get the wrong idea. I just felt like it was a thing to say. I know I'm not good for very much, but I'd appreciate if you didn't use me as a meat shield. It'll be a straight shot, they said. It's right around the corner, they said. So, okay, so at some point in this whole codependent mess, K and M started dating. And that was fine, if awkward. Yeah, we're talking about all that.
Oh, cool. This seems like a good time for me to leave and get a burrito.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We we just had a whole discussion about about the presence of sexual assault in media versus the presence of it in my life. So we're just heavy topics. Hot topics. It's fine. I got this.
I am so worried.
No, it's okay. I promise.
This is the mostest worriedest that I've been.
Oh no.
Alright, so I can go downtown and get a burrito and come back and you're still gonna be in one piece?
I'm pretty sure I'll be in one piece. Like, I actually, I've done enough processing with this for myself. I don't even think that I'll be crying about this on stream or anything.
Okay, well, go light on it until I manage to get back, okay?
Okay. So they started dating, and that was fine. The problems actually came up, like, I'm trying to remember time frame. It must have been around the fall. Okay. All right, here. I'm going to try and focus on actually getting through this though. Not the game. The fucking. So they had started dating. And at some point, okay. So somebody in the chat asked if I had feelings for either K or M, and the answer to that is no, I didn't. However, around September, October, I started, I was still always around them, and some of the discussions that I had with Kay were a little bit uncomfortable. Where he was talking about, like, one of the ones that I remember. Let's see. It's not that serious, but it was uncomfortable in that I somehow started worrying that he was moving too fast for M. And he kept talking about how, like, sex was good for you. It was healthy to have sex. It would help with headaches. It would regulate your nervous system or whatever. Stuff like that. And I find myself doubting as to if he was actually pressuring her into anything. Not a good reason to push it, exactly. Now, again, I don't remember anything that suggests that suggests outwardly that he was pressuring her. But I definitely had that concern for some reason, and I don't remember it very well. But, like, as related to her previous instant, I felt somewhat protective of her. And whatever the case, I was deeply uncomfortable with the conversation, with the way that he with the way that he talked about it. And where I am now, I feel like I am a lot more inclined to trust that discomfort that I had as a teenager than I was inclined as a teenager to trust myself, if that makes sense. Like, in retrospect, I think that if I was feeling that way, it was probably for a reason, but I don't know if I knew what that reason was at the time. So, I had been involved with my first girlfriend at the time. And that just kind of fizzled out, went nowhere. I had sort of been set after a while on trying to reestablish contact with her. Well, and you say side-eye worthy stuff, and frankly, there's the fact that he was a year, I believe, older than me. So a couple years older than her. And she was still, we're still in high school. So I think maybe a little bit early for that, depending on who you ask. But God, what was I saying? Oh, so I had been focused on my own ex for a while, and on the Halloween of 2008, I went to a party. One of my friends hosted it. There wasn't really anything suspicious there. We were frankly all pretty good kids. So here's the thing. I blacked out 4 days after that party. I went to the party, and everything was, fine. And I heard at the party that my ex had ended up moving out of state without telling me, so that was kind of a bummer. And for a while, I thought I had just rebounded because of that. I don't really know. But when I woke up, the next thing I remembered after that party was on November 4th. That was a Halloween party. The next thing I remember was on November 4th. And I was on the phone with M. And I was telling her that K was cheating on her with me. So I still don't really remember how that relationship between Kay and I started. Because I had blacked that out. Now, there's an element of Cass's role here. Cass, I wouldn't meet until 2017. And she moved in with me in 2018. And, within a couple weeks... No, actually, it was Halloween of 2018, 10 years later. She and I were talking about this. And this was a couple weeks after we started dating. But she helped me piece together kind of what happened in the time I blacked out. So I think what happened... I can remember a few text messages with Kay where... God. Okay. So we were talking about sex, and somehow this evolved into him flirting with me. And one of the things that he said that I distinctly do remember from that weekend, it was a weekend, I remember where I was when I was having this conversation, and fucking nothing else, actually. Yeah, so one of the things that he said was that he thought I was jealous of him and M. And thank you for the follow, Flaming Rubies. I remember that because I just felt such a flash of disgust. That was so fucking inaccurate. But I also remembered that I responded... I remember that I did not communicate that or express that in any way. I fucking was ready to deck him. I'm not really, because even then, I did not feel anger. But I think despite the lack of anger, it is just... it was a bro moment. Sir, you are so grotesquely wrong about that. But I enabled him. And I don't really understand why... I wasn't really sure why I did that. I let him think that I was jealous and went along with his flirting. So Cass and I pieced together given his pressuring, or not, questionably pressuring and her background and the timing of stuff, I'm pretty sure something happened in that time period. Like he had made some kind of advance on M that was clearly uncomfortable, and so we think that, probably I ended up putting myself in the line of fire. Like, I had stepped in. I made the poor decision to step in so that he would be pressuring me instead of her. Because, I didn't want to be in that for myself. And, 4 days later, after I fucking processed what the hell was going on, or I assume, because that's when I fucking came back into existence, I told her right away, basically. Yeah. Well, and yeah, so Lissa mentions discomfort and miscommunication for someone else's well-being. Yes. So in this case, M would be Florinia, for what we understand later. It wasn't really quite the same at all, because Florinia, this would be as if Florinia and Amy were dating, and that's not the case in Reborn canon, but. And frankly, M and Florinia share zero personality similarities. They're really M acts more like Julia. She actually, as an example of that, M used to go out and touch electrical boxes just for the stimulation. So we had a competition, the three of us, one time, to see who could stay up for the longest, the most hours at the time consecutively. And M lasted 30 hours or so, and then exhausted herself in her garage by pogo sticking at 5 a.m. and then passed out on her garage floor. She was fun, yeah. That was fun. And then between Kay and I, we made it to around 52 hours, and I think we both passed out on the phone together, so we don't really know who won. Anyway, so M is Florinia's role. Yes, Florinia and Amaria are said, they did used to be close, and that was close in a way that was harming Florinia. Yeah, so, kind of Florinia's role, but Julia's personality. And yes, in the same case, Titania pushes her out of the picture to deal with the pain herself. So we think that that's basically what happened with in the time that I blacked out. So in this case, yeah. So the way this goes is that when I made the sprites first, and then when it was Titania's debut night in the online league, I had no idea what I was going to do for her personality, and then I somehow had the idea. I feel like I lucked into what is ultimately just great writing, of using my feelings with regards to this whole instant as the basis for Titania's personality. So over time, I've kind of come to think of Titania as an alternate version of myself, where I happened to, after all this happened, which I haven't gotten to some of this yet, but after it all happened, winter break was the key thing. And I went back to school and was just very completely open about what happened, because, the fact that my mother had suffered enough, and everyone I knew, and my father's profession, I knew that keeping secrets about what happened to me would only cause me damage. So I was just very open about everything, and I ultimately feel like that was a that was a high wisdom role, just good decision. So I imagined that Titania was like an alternate version of me where I did not express any of that, where I kept all of those feelings close and let them fester, and how defensive and like just internally bitter I might have become had I not been open about that. Which is ironic because really over time I came to admire Titania, but that's a different matter. So anyway, it's not even bad life choices. It's just still being in that situation, and yeah, I don't know, one bad choice maybe, a couple bad choices. So let's see, where was I? So I told M that she was being cheated on, and she kind of, she was extremely deeply hurt. She appreciated me telling her. We did go on to be friends somewhat, like I was still in her corner, but she stepped out of the situation, the three-way calls, and it was just me in constant communication with Kay, who also, I assume this is why I didn't feel comfortable talking to him. Thank you for the follows, by the way, guys. I didn't feel comfortable rejecting him in the first place because he was so frequently suicidal, and this whole bit about Titania and Amy, not being able to reject her or break up with her because she's going to kill herself. I absolutely felt like if I did anything that rejected his advances, he would just kill himself. I don't know how much that was deliberately his intention, manipulative, to make me feel that way. But as I've talked about in trauma therapy since then, it doesn't really matter if it was his intention to manipulate me or not. That's what happened. So this whole thing with Titania and Amaria, and I want to say also, like Amaria, there are parts of Amaria's character that are based off of him. Like there's a story about how her Lapras, Deliverance, got its name because she had drifted out to sea and was at risk of drowning, and Lapras saved her. That is a story from Kay. Obviously, it wasn't a Lapras, but we had some mutual belief in spirituality, and he had felt that an ocean spirit, if I recall correctly, saved him. So there are some details like that in Amaria's character, but for the most part, the Amaria that we know in game is also a very personal character to me in a very different direction. She was the only character that I played in Season 2, and I ended up injecting a lot of my personal depression into her, as we've seen in episode 17. We can talk about that later. But like, she's definitely a combination of myself and Kay. Kay was, as I recall, both borderline and bipolar. Unofficial diagnosis. Actually, I guess I don't know if it's official. I guess I assumed it was official, but hell if I know. So, I was in this awkward relationship with Kay, and he came out to visit for winter break. And, I probably don't need to go into the details there much. These bracelets, though, right here, there's 3 of them now, but he originally got these for me. And originally, there were like 40 of them. They were a set of black and pink. Now you can see that these are silver. It's because the paint chipped off of them. Over time, I gave away a few at first. Over time, they've just broken. But I have been wearing these bracelets for like just about every day for the past 14 years. Yes, that is relevant to the sapphire bracelet thing, yeah. These are just some cheap bangles we got from Claire's. I really like them, actually. Originally, I wore them all the time kind of as... I viewed them as shackles. They were a reminder of how badly I had hurt them and I had messed up that situation. Because, you know, everybody knows that, like, or no, this is not everybody knows, but like there's the common argument in the discourse between the girls, the like, you know, Titania should never have enabled Amaria in the first place. She should have just been honest. And yeah, that's absolutely true. You know, so that was my mistake. Anyway, I came prepared. You know, I've been wearing these for 14 years, and I've lost them one by one as they've broken, but I think we're just gonna kill these now. I'm not wearing them anymore. I do still have these. These I got for myself. You know, it feels wrong if I'm not wearing bracelets on my left arm. After a while, they stopped being shackles and started just being because I liked them. I wasn't applying any emotional attachment to them, but I think, you know, we can cut those up. It feels good to let that go. So here's an example of the discourse here saying Amaria is completely at fault here. And, you know, it does take two to tango. I definitely, you know, there is a manipulative element. There is definitely poor boundaries. Yeah, what's up, rubies? But, you know, Titania's mistake was enabling that in the first place. That's all it is to it. It may not be, you know, a 50-50 split, but both of them have some degree of blame. Definitely, excuse me, definitely a lot of people hate Amaria more. That's because of the thing in episode 17. That has the whole drowning thing has no bearing on reality. That was just, I added it to be fun, and I kind of regret that because I underestimated how much people were going to have extreme emotional reactions to that. How deep did Titania dig this hole? Well, so... I don't know. Kind of in a rat king of relationship, true. This is why we have happy Amaria. Yeah. So, like, when Kay came out and visited, you guys gotta understand, I don't like boys. And the other thing is this was because, you know, it is not a secret that I'm trans. So I had not transitioned at the time. So I was under no delusions of, you know, say a cis girl is going to grow up assuming that she likes boys, but I sure knew that I didn't. But he came out to visit for winter break. He had originally been planning to meet mainly with M, and then the whole thing happened. They broke up because of me. So he came out to visit and stay with me. There's a question, was I aware of my identity? So no, I wasn't. But the funny thing is that despite not being aware of it, I asked him to call me his girlfriend. Like, that was like the one genuine request I made in that relationship, and naturally he wouldn't. He was there to be in a gay relationship. You know, he was experimenting with that, the whole bi-curious thing. So I didn't really know that I was trans, but I definitely still asked to be referred to as a girl there. So, like, Just saying. Like, maybe that should have been a hint to me. He kind of a bitch if he wouldn't even do that. I'm a little bit inclined to agree. When did I realize it was in university later? I must have been 20-ish, 19, 20-ish. But yeah, like that was my one stake in the relationship. But that is to say, Titania had a line earlier in that scene on the waterfall about, if I could change my feelings, I would. So I knew I was not interested in guys, but I really did everything I could think of to do with my interest in psychology. To try and trick myself into being attracted to him. Because that, Titania has those lines about, I thought I would get over it if I just truly devoted myself to you. And like that was really where I was at. I'm like, okay, just because I don't feel a romantic or a sexual attraction to him doesn't mean that I can't genuinely try, because he was my best friend. Just doesn't mean that I can't genuinely try to devote myself to him and be the best partner that I can be for him. And, along the way, it would be nice if I could find some of those feelings. So I really tried to trick myself into liking guys as much as possible. Yeah, okay, so guys, does this mean that you kill Taka if we, the player, decide to help him? I mean, so if we view Titania as my self-insert blanketly, yes, but she also is her own character with more identity than that. So, I don't know, I certainly haven't killed anybody. You don't need to read into it that much. The inspiration behind Titania and Amaria, was insofar as this relationship, which is why it gets so much focus. I also imagine that, especially after the events of the game, Titania is ace, but I don't think it's explicitly stated. And I invite people to have their own headcanons as they find comfort or joy. How does it feel to see people then go on to attach these characters without that context? Thought she was Demi, but she could be Ace. Well, and it's funny you say that because I actually identify as Demi myself. Anyway. How does it feel to see people go on to attach these characters without this context? Actually, it's super nice, actually, just to hear the people related to these experiences. There have been some people who definitely just, they realize, they message me and they're like, shit, I'm in a Titania situation. And at that point, I've shared my experiences with those people. I said, I said, Amaria is probably just gay. So I've told the story to some of those people and tried to relate my own personal experience and insight to them. This is the first time I've talked about it publicly, in part because I was still maintaining the facade until the 19 released that the leaders were characters, as somebody in chat earlier was confused about. So now that that is out in the open, I can be open about this and about my personal involvement in that relationship. But for as much as people argue over these characters, God, it's so vindicating. Whether you love or hate both Titania or Amaria, it's just kind of satisfying to me either way. Because if you hate Amaria, then that's kind of vindicating for me as somebody who has dealt with Kay as a perpetrator. And I still have to hesitate with that word. That was something that came up in trauma therapy for me, is that I'm always making excuses for people. And I really hesitate to call them perpetrator, but they are a person who has perpetrated an action. I've been dancing around this point for a while, but I forced myself to have sex with him. Didn't enjoy that shit. Multiple times. It was not a good winter break. Let's just get that out there. But it was a coercive situation. I felt that if I didn't do that, he would kill himself. And it is still frankly unclear to what extent he deliberately manipulated and fed that information. Anyway, the word perpetrator. So if you hate Amaria, that's vindicating to me in that regard. If you like Amaria, then that's vindicating for me as somebody who has then made that character my own and put so much of my personal depression into her. If you hate Titania, that's a little bit rougher for me. But I also understand, it's a nice reality check for me to recognize my own complacency in that instead of just doubting myself all the time. If you like Titania, well, then, I appreciate that as somebody who also admires her and, where she is kind of the emotional stand-in for me. As far as people attaching them, I worry about all the people who relate to Titania. I worry about all the people who relate to Amaria, actually. I'm glad that people relate to Amaria as far as the depression stuff. Not that I want them to be depressed, but I think that it can be helpful to see that kind of thing represented in a character, and it's helpful to me to realize that the way that I put this and experience this is itself relatable to others, and I feel like this relationship is the strongest writing in this game because it is also the most personal in the game, and it's also informed my writing going forward of trying to make this as emotional and personal as possible. That was especially true in post-game, it'll especially be true in Starlight, and I'm looking forward to, say, the entire rest of my career. Okay, I'm gonna take a moment and breathe. Just gonna... Cass and I met, by the way, because Cass was one of those people who saw something in Titania, related to her a little bit, and we got to talking that way. This is kind of cause and effect with that. I was just ice. Yeah. Hey, thanks for listening to my trauma dump, by the way, guys. So, the resolution of this story. It was common for... It was common for us to go in a mood where he'd feel insecure and suicidal, and I would have to spend, an evening or two convincing them that I do love him. That how many times have we had this conversation? How many times have you lied to me? Even before we were dating. I just accidentally tapped the space bar. That's fine. We're in a battle. I should probably battle. Even before we were dating, we frequently had, hey, do you guys secretly hate me? Am I secretly the worst person in the world? And Em and I would spend the evening assuring him that no, we actually genuinely care about you. But the nature of that conversation changed once it was just he and I dating, where, do you really love me? And I had to lie and say yes, because I thought he would kill himself if I didn't. So he came out for winter break. We definitely had one of the times of all time. And the relationship to Okami, just since I'm thinking of it, I was especially playing through Okami and the Kamui segment. I was playing through Okami in a lot of the time that we were just codependently talking on the phone, the three of us all together. And the Kamui segment when it was just he and I dating. And one of the frequent triggers for him was I would be trying to play that game. And like I would be reading the dialogue and I would miss something he said. and that would just send him on a spiral. Like that would lead him to feel I was ignoring him. Therefore I didn't love him, therefore etc. Therefore he should kill himself. So I have some difficulty focusing on dialogue and listening, and some degree of caginess with playing games around people as a result of that. Exactly, because it was what I had been playing when all that was going on. And the other thing is so I was a very quirky TM teenager, and I still am, frankly. But I had a captain bed, took up most of the room, and there was like a little crevice on the other side of it. So instead of sleeping in the bed, I made a pillow fort. Oh, fuck, the larva. Okay, let's talk about that. That has nothing to do with the game. But let's talk about that as far as trauma. I fucking hate insects, by the way, just so everyone knows. So, so I had this pillow fort, right, that I set up on the far edge of my bed, had a tapestry over it. I had my record player in there, actual vinyls. I had a TV. I had my PS2. I had my laptop. And so I just lived in my pillow fort, and it was so fucking cozy. I put just all my clothes in the bottom over the carpet. It was dark, it was warm, it was super fluffy. It was awesome. It was super awesome. Anyway, okay, so I had my PS2 in there. I'll get there. I'll get there. So I was playing PS2 in there. I was always hanging out on the phone. I was playing Okami under there, and so it was still set up like that when Kay came to visit in winter break, which means I have since had some mixed feelings about the concept of pillow forts, because that would be where it was effectively my room. Yeah, it was like a room within my room. But because it was private, that is where I forced myself to engage in certain activities. So that, I mainly played Okami in there. But that, with the whole codependent phase of the relationship, with the increasingly uncomfortable codependent dating relationship, with engaging in intimate activities in there, definitely gave me some, let's say, discomfort with the nature of pillow forts. And that's not all. Okay, so after winter break, he had come out to visit for just a week or two, somewhere around there, went back. And within a couple days of him leaving, he sent me a letter saying that he knew, after having visited me, that I didn't love him. It was not the first time he had this conversation with me. Because, he decided I didn't love him every week, or maybe more often. But after what I did not have the energy to talk him down. Like, I was still fucking reeling, from the physical sensations, among other things. It was kind of hard to deny. Because, I can help him feel good. He can't exactly help me feel good. And that was, I guess, to him somewhat of a giveaway. Should have faked it better. Whatever the case, he broke up with me within 2 days of going home. I definitely felt used, like he had just gotten what he wanted in the form of intimacy and, sent me on my way, even though I recognize that's probably not the case because we were best friends for a long time before that. But it felt bad. Anyway, he broke up. And I just didn't have the energy to fight it. I just couldn't at that point. And after that, he and M began dating again. So M stopped being friends with me for a while. Later on, we would become friends again. Like in a couple more years. People are asking if Kay got any help. I do not know. But I do know that he is married now, so presumably he is doing better. I choose to believe that he's doing better. He ended up moving to my state to be with M for a while after that. Shouldn't the red flags have draped in? Yeah, you'd think so. M has it... Okay, this is another Julia thing. M just picks the worst partners. Of all the partners that I've seen M with, except maybe she is married now as well. Her current husband is, as far as I know, okay. But man, she has the Julia problem of just the worst taste in boys. Yeah, average Julia moment, exactly. She does not make good relationship decisions. Like, probably, Sarah. Okay. So he broke up with me. M started dating him. So I lost both of my best friends that I've been talking to almost constantly for the better part of the year, and I became much more reserved after that. Just as a person. Like, frankly, after that winter break, my entire personality changed. And in some ways for the better. Because I was able to be open about that. I was able to be more open. Which is weird. That's usually the opposite of what happens. But at the same time, I became more withdrawn, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't talk to people anymore. But if I did, you know, I was less defensive than I had been before all that. But, and also, I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of willpower and patience to say, work with troubled youth like I went on to do, or spend 10 years on a game, or, you know, manage a community who's, no offense to anybody, because I have no reason to believe that any of you are anything but great in chat. But we do get some rowdy teenagers in the community. And, you know, just the willpower and patience that I developed from that event, making myself do these things, has been beneficial. Let's put it that way. So anyway, I became very reclusive after that. I actually stopped making games then. That was why I stopped making games, because I left all of the game-making communities that he and I might have shared. And I came back to it with Reborn. But before we get to Reborn... the insect thing. A month after Kay went home and broke up with me. Who here knows what clothes moths are? My pillow fort was a dark and warm place with a bunch of fluffy bedding and objects. Clothes moths are a type of moth that live in dark, warm places and eat fiber.
Okay, now you die.
Correct. Kill it with holy fire. Correct. So it turned out that I had been sleeping on a bed of larvae for months. To me, this was highly metaphorical. That's the shit that will get to me still. Sorry, Sarah. So we had inherited some carpet from my grandma. We think is where we got it from. And the clothes moths were probably in it. The eggs were. The eggs are fucked up. They are smaller than salt crystals. They are just like a fine white powder. They can be dormant, we thought, for up to 3 years. Yes, that's exactly correct. We started noticing holes on our clothing. We figured they had probably been in the house for a couple years. And here's the thing. They made it into our furnace ventilation system. It's something to do with the filter. They lived there. So because they were in the furnace, because it was warm in there and dark, and there was fiber. And we had 5 pets. So there was a lot of, cat fuzz or whatever drifting through the vent system. But because they were in the vent system, we have not been able to exterminate them manually. And my mother is hypersensitive to chemicals. She's immunocompromised. So we have not been able to get a full extermination in. Otherwise, it would affect her immune system. So my mother still deals with the clothes moths to this day, 14 years later. Yeah, they vented. Haha. I actually like most moths and butterflies. I dislike bugs as a whole, but I make an exception for moths and butterflies, except for these fucking demon critters. Fucking hate them so much. So when I moved out of my mom's house, I was fucking so terrified, paranoid. I still am sometimes. I'll see like something that resembles a clothes moth flying along. And I'll just like, I'll go like full hypervigilance. Okay, need to check all the clothes, check for any eggs, make sure, check the creases under the sleeves, check the baseboards, the mattress, etc. Yes, I did not feel great about the fleas. Handful of years ago, before I really got into therapy, just seeing a moth itself was definitely a trigger for the sexual assault stuff for me, because, like I said, I very closely associated those metaphorically. Can my mom move out from that house? No. There's a lot of answers as to why no, but the answer is no. She's not willing to, let's put it that way. It's nothing emotional or anything. Cass has done so much. Cass helped me figure out what happened in the days that I blacked out. Cass got me out of that house, and she's helped me kind of wind down and not react so pitchedly whenever I do just see a moth. Is me not liking bugs why Bennett is the worst character? I don't think Bennett is the worst character. Like the plan for Bennett was always he would be shit before, and he would be better after. I doubled down on that on the incel stuff for the main game, but that wasn't because of disliking bugs. That was just because it felt like the thing to do. So, okay. So let's play this video game. Remember when we were playing a video game? How does this all tie into how Reborn exists? Great. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to get into. So I originally made the Reborn... I mentioned in the very first episode that I made the Reborn League in the Wi-Fi DS era as a challenge for my best friend. And that was Kay. I made the Reborn League for him. He and I used to play Pokemon together. I don't know why. I guess because all of my moves fucking sucked. I don't know why I just did that. I'm not even paying attention to this battle right now. Oh, motherfuck. So he and I used to play like Emerald. We'd try and play lockstep. Like not only do we roughly stay at the same part of the game together, but our codependency was so extreme that we tried to move in the same exact way. Anyway, he and I were always talking about, wouldn't it be cool if you could fight gym leaders in video games as if they were real people? And so I started making the challenge to him, and Tara was the first one that I made. And that was just, I think I talked about it in the first episode, so I'm not going to repeat all of that. Well, so here's the thing. I made it for him, and this fucking bitch this fucking bitch ass motherfucker never actually played it. Like, so we played games together a lot, but he was also, I'm gonna say this just to be silly, there's not that many feelings, but he was also kind of a pussy about it. Like, he, you know, it may not be his fault. He got headaches a lot when he would play games for too long. But yeah, no. I made the challenge for him and he never took it up, and then all that happened and we broke up, and yeah. His loss, exactly. So, a couple of years later, I found the files, or the file that had all the badge names and character names for season 1. That's what it was. Badge sprites, badge names, character names. From what I had set up the challenge for him a couple years later when I was 17. Yeah. I hadn't made the art back then, just the badges for some reason. So I found that, and I don't really know, you know, why I decided to start it back up. Why is half my team weak to being punched in the face? I don't know. I'm weak to being punched in the face. And so one of the communities that I had originally left was MP, Monkey Pro. And so I decided to host the league for them instead. I'm like, you know, I made this challenge for Kay, and he never did it. So you guys want to do it instead? And they did. And then it took off. And then some other bullshit happened. That's a whole different story. Not really a significant one. But shout out to that time that I got kicked out of my school's musical production. So then it just kind of became the league and took off from there. So the important part of the story is mostly about Titania and Amaria, but it is related to Reborn, in that he was the person for whom I originally made the league that then got pushed to everybody else, that then got made into the game. Yeah, they kicked me off like the week before the show. It was because I was staging a coup d'etat. It was kind of my fault. Okay, I'll just tell the story at this point. So our drama teacher for my high school, after this is not nearly an extreme story. If it weren't for Amaria, we wouldn't have gotten Lynn. Yeah, that's true. Rock Smash, great. That'll work. You know what? Sure. We were just lowering its defense for Venusaur. It wasn't overthrowing the school principal, but it was overthrowing the show's director. So in my senior year, so I left after K. I left game development and game development communities altogether and got very involved in my high school's theater. And you know, like, I imagine at most high schools the big thing TM is like football or cheerleading or whatever, right? You typically imagine that. But at my school, the big thing was the drama club, and there were like, seriously, my senior year for that show, there were like 100 people in the drama club for production. And we had just the most wonderful drama teacher. She was almost 30, I believe. Honestly, as an introvert, no. Like I honestly super enjoyed that club. I have so many fun memories from that time. But our sweetheart angel of a drama teacher got cancer and had to step out. We're totally off track, and there's no sign of Hardy or Kane. Where even are we?
up your butt and around the corner. Boom!
Ooh.
Boom, boom, boom! That's the kind of comedy you can expect now that I'm back.
Oh, good. It's you. Huh? Well, well, look who showed up.
We both characters with the same voice.
I'm doing my best here, okay? Hey, Grunt, go call for backup. Tell them we got a good catch down here. Is that really necessary? I know what you mean, Eclipse. I tried. And then I forgot. I succeeded step 1 and failed step 2. I know exactly what I did. Thank you.
You did do that. I'll stop interrupting you.
No, actually I was gonna say, do you wanna take over stream for a moment? I'm gonna step out real quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Well, let me get myself a drink.
Okay. Well, then whatever.
Okay, hi stream, I'm Always Chair. Do. Okay. We'll pound the. You can fucking read. You've played this game, right? Hopefully you've played this game, right? Like, and you know what they're saying here. Because if you haven't played this game, you should play it. I hear it's pretty alright. I don't think you know what I mean at all. Let's get this over with. Okay. So I'm playing this game on hard mode. And what I mean by hard mode is that I don't know how the fuck Ame has her keys set up. So I play with WASD because I'm not, a fucking cave person. But now that I'm here, I have to figure out how on earth I'm gonna do anything. Alright. Here, I'll just this, I guess. I don't know. I haven't played this game. Which button? Alt. Alright. Ame uses the base, whatever it comes with out of the box, like an asshole.
What comes with what out of the box? Oh, the default controls?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I set up the default controls based on how I usually play. From emulators and stuff.
Which is also wrong. Just because emulators do it doesn't make it right. Alright, what the fuck do you have on these? Really? You got Alakazam in this thing too? Fuck is with Alakazam. This is the Gen 1ist team? God, you're old.
The Alakazam was just for Samson. And then I capped it. Which...
Yeah, that makes it better. I've already forgotten who's out. I've been looking at these for so long. It's, here, we'll do this guy. Isn't there only one Gen 1er? Yes, unless you mean Sandslash, Ninetales, and Alakazam, which are all from Gen 1. Oh, I should have watched chat. Pro gamers use the numpad. How do I ban people on here?
No, let's spare them. Just this time.
Okay. Oh, that Lunatone went night-night. Well,
Yeah, that's awkward.
flinch. Clutch. Did you see that? Did you see that? That's why I'm the best at this video game. People aren't gonna want you back after this.
Damn.
Okay, ooh. That's a good move, right? I think that's a pretty good move. Orngro. Ongonarangaru.
Shouting flinch does increase the chances. We actually added some code to, process the user's microphone.
Oh. Oranguru go nene. Oh. Now everybody go nene. Night night. Okay, so I'm looking at my face in the webcam stream, and I'm realizing that maybe I should think about my appearance on this stream. So I'm just gonna It's technically worse, but I'll do Blizzard.
You might get the cheeky freeze.
Yeah, crit. It was fine. Ah! That crit too!
Rude.
Yikes. Oh, I'm just looking at the stupid face that I had on my face. Like,
Your expression.
you know, does anybody think that they look good? So it's not like that's any news. Fuck, what do you have again? Psychic, Encore, Recover. That one's stupid. Can we throw that in the garbage? Sonic's the name, speeds in the game. Oh.
Sonic is cancelled.
Sonic is cancelled. Okay, no Accelerock. We're not Accelerocking. Cool. I'm glad. See, so now that I know that we're not gonna Accelerock, you know, I know that I can just get that out of there, right? And I got a big boomy off. Why are you breaking my brick?
Ooh.
Bro! Wait, actually, I guess rock doesn't resist rock.
It does not.
Fascinating.
It must be plus speed. Or no, it's a couple levels up.
Why does it get brick break? Okay, cool. So this was going really great until Ame came back, and now I'm ruined.
Oh shit, I'll go away.
So I'll tailwind for when I inevitably die. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And no, what's her problem?
Why did she send out Toxapex on the tailwind? Oh, 1v1, 1v1, there's hope. Okay.
Great. 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 Okay. This is happening, y'all.
Oh, that burn! Oh, it's fucking over. Okay, I'll take this back.
That hurt.
Go eat your burrito. You need a burrito after that.
Another casualty. How do I ban people on this?
No. I am not crying. No, not right now.
Well, thanks for coming to my blind Let's Play of Pokemon Reborn. I'm gonna go eat a burrito now. Later.
Hi. Okay. I can actually read the rest of the thing properly too. Nope.
Get that Alakazam out of your party.
Okay.
Get it out.
Alright.
Can't believe that you just fucking ditched me with a fucking Alakazam.
I mean, I don't mind Alakazam that much.
I know! I know you don't. I'm well aware that you don't mind using Alakazam, but then I guess you also don't mind losing, do you?
It's not so bad.
On what basis do you say it's not so bad?
It's, just a fast glass cannon.
Yeah, that once you removed it from your party and or deck, you started winning. So...
I mean,
I'm just saying. It's no wonder you're bad at video games.
I don't think it was that bad.
Although, bringing a recover setup sweeper to a doubles match.
Yeah, it's definitely not good for this fight. But as a Pokemon, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I bet you did. Yeah, we've been playing the TCG games recently, and I had been using a Zam deck.
And then once you got rid of the Zam, you started winning.
I don't think that was what did it. Because, I had to have won in the first place before I swapped out the Ghastlies. Because I was moving on to the next trainer. And the Dark Alakazam was good for getting through all the colorless Pokemon. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there really wasn't much more to that. Right, because it all happens afterwards. Now, of course, I haven't troubleshooted this... Hold on. Let's see. I didn't think about my lead here. And I ought to have. Oh, whatever. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I am. Damn, where's my brick break? Actually, though, where is my brick break? Oh, yeah, so my Blizzard, really? Our wonderful actual drama teacher had gotten cancer. And they caught it early, so she was okay, but she did have to step out for like the semester, during what was going to be the musical. So they brought in a separate director who was, I guess, a friend of hers, and they hired a student director, as always do, who was a friend of mine, but who was not very good at doing the director-ing. What am I doing?
Losing. Your Alakazam?
I don't have Alakazam in this fight.
Oh,
Why?
then you're winning.
Yeah, well, I just forgot that Passimian was out and sent out a rock type, so no, I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah, I deserve this. Okay. And now we can... Okay, so since the Brick Breaker is down, maybe we can actually get Aurora Veil up and keep it now. So to make a long story short, basically, between the student director and the substitute director, a lot of people were super unhappy with how the show was being run, to the point that because we had such a large club, a lot of the people who applied for acting roles, I am just throwing. Oh man, I was really hoping I'd live with that with it, Auroraville. And the flinch. Yeah, I'm throwing so hard. A lot of the people who applied for acting roles got put into there was the chorus for acting on... You have Brick Break too? I guess we knew that. Motherfucker. Alright, this is just so much of a bust. They got put into a separate choir from the onstage chorus, which meant that they were going to be dressed in black, and their acting role was to sit in the orchestra pit and sing and do nothing else. And a lot of the freshmen were not being treated very well. Some of my friends in specific. We were doing The Wiz, which for those who don't know is a version of The Wizard of Oz that is very much steeped in African American culture. And so there was, we were at a very diverse school, but the drama club was not very diverse. So you can imagine the kinds of discourse that were going around. And eventually, a week or two before the show, basically just everybody was miserable. So I ended up making some kind of a Facebook post about saying, hey, regardless of whatever the lead director says, as the student body organizing and performing in this play, we can be the ones to make the decisions of what we do, reorganize in a way that is going to help everybody feel more satisfied, and, get the show back on track. No blackface, of course. No. And so because I had set that up, I was dismissed from the play a week before the show for insubordination. The ironic part is, though, that it actually totally worked. It was definitely a wake-up call to the administration, and within that week, or maybe some extra change or something, they actually did get the choir back involved in acting, re-choreographed it so they could at least, participate on stage in small ways, and a lot of the treatment of people actually improved after I did that and left and was kicked out of the show. Did someone snitch on me? No. It was never secret that I was done organizing that. Like, it was Facebook. My account was right there. I was not trying to be secretive about it. I was just trying to organize people. Yeah, and the students, this was, aside from the substitute director, it was an entirely student-run production, down to the, management and stuff, so the other students who fired me were very sympathetic about it, but were like, we have to do this. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Felt awful. But it was in that time, after leaving the show, I had been working on sprites backstage in rehearsal for a while. You can tell that I've paid zero attention this fight as I've been talking. But so having been spriting backstage, and running League on the side of things, we were late for a couple rehearsals because I was running gym matches. There was one rehearsal for this actually that it was a Hardy match and he was running stall at the time and it ran for 200 turns, so we were late. But after getting kicked out of this, I took some time to recover and focused on setting up the website and League properly that may wait. We won?
You won?
I wasn't paying attention to this fight. How many Pokemon did Aya just kill?
Shout out to Aya, damn.
6? 4? Aya hard carried? Wow, okay.
You literally tried to throw and Aya called you a bitch.
Yeah, I was not paying attention to that fight whatsoever. Oh, okay. Alright, sure. Damn it, Eclipse, are you even trying? Not really, no. I talked on the phone the whole fight, that's true. I'm done. You win. Don't give up. We fight to the end. For Team Meteor. I'm not giving up. I'm quitting. You what? And look, I'll even power off the pulse clotser for you. Here. Pulse 10 clotser system offline. That's what you wanted, right? That's why you came here. About that. We just got lost and wandering here. Oh. Well, that's what I wanted. So thanks for wandering in. Eclipse, what the hell do you think you're doing? I literally just said like 3 different times. Were you not listening, or are you actually that stupid? Wait, Eclipse, why? I thought we were gonna change the world together. Yeah, I'm backing out on that. This isn't the change I wanted. Since we joined, we've done nothing but help Team Meteor hurt more and more people. But in the end, this isn't worth the end. What good is a new world if the people we care about aren't in it? I don't understand. Yeah, you don't. You never had a family. You grew up on the street and the only one you ever had to look out for was yourself. That's not a luxury everyone has. Team Meteor gave me a home. I will repay them with my life. Great, do it. I don't care. My father lives in Calcinon City. If one of the Closer's attacks hits his house, that's it. Game over. End of line. We were assigned to guard the power station for it, but I can't just sit here and bite my nails wondering if the last blast did him in. Did him in what? And I'm pretty sure I've lost IQ points from being partnered with you. So, Amy? Do we just let these two duke it out? Or... Sorry for the trouble. Look, if you're going to fight Team Meteor, there's something you should know. Team Meteor itself wasn't always bad. When Solaris led us, we had one strict goal. Cleanse the city. We wanted Reborn to be pure again, but the people had to leave for that to happen. So we started doing things to make them leave. But then everything changed. Even before Lynn started shooting through the ranks, serious. Eclipse! Good girls should know their place and stay in it. Or it will make itself known to them. What's happening to her? Yeah, that. Didn't you know? Chandelure's flames burn away the soul. The body remains even after the spirit is lost forever. Done. Why would you do that? Stones must be cut to be shaped. People are the same. And sometimes, should the stone break, it must simply be thrown away. Now, for the next target. Amy. Get out of the way! Fine, then I'll take you instead. Ow, ow, ow! Let go of me! You have friends headed to Calcinon, correct? Change of plans. You'll make a fine hostage. Let's move. Aster, destroy the exit. I'm not leaving Do whatever you want with the traitor. She's already gone. The immediate retreat. Then why does Lantern literally not destroy the world? I mean, I imagine. So the whole thing about the Pokedex entries is that they are meant to be after a certain style of magazine that is known to be exaggerative and for an audience of kids. But that doesn't mean that they aren't elements of truth in them, you know? Yo, Amy. Kane went off to go see some friends of his who were up here, I guess. Where's Aya? She what, mate? Captured? Excuse me. Okay, let's just go heal real quick. Alright. See? I told you Amy was here. Not bad. Hey, glad you finally caught up. Hi Amy. And then for those who don't know, if you rescued either the twins or Shelly in Tanzan, then Anna or Shelly can hug you here. Hey, where's Aya? Oh. Well, she'll probably be fine. You're not worried? If we should be worried about anyone, it's her captors. That girl will complain their heads off. If you say so. Sorry, but... Oh, right. What were you going to ask before Anna suddenly started shouting? About Amy being here? I don't hate Charlotte, no. Oh yeah, the puzzle for Charlotte. Okay, I'm probably not going to do that just because it would be a pain to do on stream. And I don't have the image reference ready. Although it wouldn't be hard to get, but... I don't know, I'm not going to bother with that on stream. I'll deal with the relationship point consequences. I plan on showing off all the endings anyway, so I'm not really fussed. Oops, sorry. You said that you were following Heather, right? What happened to her? I caught up to her briefly and this older guy named Blake said he was going to take care of her. She seemed okay with it, so I figured she was fine. Wait, Heather's with Blake? Like Cal's brother, Blake? That's his brother. If it's the same person, I've only heard bad things about him. I need to talk to Heather. I'm going to Hamatrine. Wait, the path up there is blocked. Oh no. What's wrong? Hamatrine City. The path was sealed off by something like a huge iceberg. We're concerned that if it stays there, no food can be delivered to the mountaintop. If that happens... Heather might starve? If she were going to starve, she would probably just fly somewhere else. Still, I wish we could help her somehow. So, a giant iceberg in Amatrine Mountain. I don't remember hearing about that. Let me think. I don't think we can break or melt it. It can't be climbed? Probably not. I see. Well, then it's easy. It is? Yep, totally easy. What do you mean? If you can't go around, through, or over it, then there's only one option left. You have to go under it. Under? How would we? Dive. Correct. 1 point for Nomos. I was the one who said that? Don't cheat, Noelle. Nomos definitely said it first. Where are we going to find the dive machine, though? Right here. Wait, you had it already? I had a feeling this might come up, and they were offering it as a prize at the circus, so... I just went ahead and picked it up early. You're welcome. Don't forget the badge requirement to use it. It's probably another one of the Agates Triumvirate, right? Actually, I think it's Charlotte. It used to be Calcinon's old gym leader that handled dive. If you tell her what's going on and ask for a battle, I'm sure she'll accept. Go on, get to it already. Good luck with your upcoming battle. I may joke about it, but I do want to get Aya back. I just don't think there's anything we can do right now. So Heather's an army trainee. I want to talk to her again, but there's no way for me to get there? Just focus on one thing at a time. If you do, all the other things will focus on you. Could we please talk about the League, Blake, adopting Heather? Yeah, that was, you know, not the greatest convincing moment, but... So the story was that after Corey's death, we were trying to keep Heather in the League, and Blake assumed temporary guardianship, which is why that's represented in the events in-game. But I don't have a whole lot of, like, justification for that being a thing that happened over an online community. Beyond it being a point of character development who was until then an extremely shallow and boring character. Like, that was probably most of it. And I figured, you know, she went into her depressive silence after that. As well. That was a thing from the online league as well. Where she just didn't talk. She just signed on, did her battles, nothing else. And that was, again, character choice to try and start getting her some development. Which really, you know, when I was playing the online league characters, I'm just trying to keep myself entertained, you feel? So I thought that later on, you know, we'd have Heather step out for a more interesting character, which became CL, which turns out to not have been more interesting. But she was more fun.
Yikes. Damn.
And I thought that maybe in season 3 we would bring Heather back as an older, more mature version of herself, which we kind of end up seeing in post-game a little bit. But did not actually end up happening in the online league. Blake was still the worst person ever, right? No, wrong, actually. I embellished Blake being a dick for the game, much like I embellished Bennett being an incel. Blake was, like, a troll and, you know, a little bit sardonic, but he was not actually a jerk quite in the same way that he is in-game. Well met, Amy. Meteor's attack seems to have ceased for now, but I'll remain vigilant. I wouldn't put it past them just to wait until we lower our guard. Cal was generally worse than Blake, yeah, because it was like early game Cal versus, you know, a more tame Blake. So, a Team Meteor agent turned off the machine herself? That does explain why the barrier has remained. One was configured to Calcinon's power system, and one to Labradora's. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Once Team Meteor reactivates the pulse clotzer or switches it onto the Labradora power grid, the attack will resume. Until it is destroyed, I will wait. No matter how long it lasts, I won't take any risks with my sisters in this city. They have Aya. We'll definitely make them pay. Come out here, Meteors. Aya! Just stop. Someone's coming. So, that's why you picked your Thai party? 'Cause you're dumb as a rock? Sup, nerds? You know you're not gonna get through that barrier. Why are you over there? Simple. I side with the winners. And at least here, I can actually do some good. I figured it out when I went back to Chrysolia looking for that kid. Their whole base had been torn in, you know. A few didn't make it out. A few did because I helped them. They actually needed me. And when they finally finish what they set out to do, I'll be in my rightful place at the top too. Looks like your little girlfriend's just another pawn in their game. Give her back now. As if. But I'll give her a kiss for you if you want. Don't you dare.
I feel like you need to call an actual Australian in for that Australian accent.
It is meant to be a fake one.
Well.
Hashtag copium.
Mission accomplished.
Just kidding. I wouldn't touch her if she paid me to. Mate, I swear on everything holy. When I get through this wall, I'm gonna punch your entire face in. If you get through the wall. Want to keep slamming your head into it some more? I'm pretty sure you won't get a concussion for at least another 2 or 3 tries. But I'm always open to being proven wrong. That said, some of us have work to do. Later, losers. He seems like a pleasant person. That's not the half of it. But I'm not gonna give up. I'll save Aya myself. He makes up for all the nice rivals we've been getting in the newer games. True. Hi, welcome. Isn't Fern basically just Gary? Yeah, I kind of wrote him to be a bigger Gary. There aren't really any other scenes right here for now, right? Except for this. You seem like a charming young lady. In fact, you remind...
Sorry, I was chewing.
That's okay. I understand. You remind me a bit of my daughter. Beautiful girl she was. But after I fell ill, she left to go find a way to cure me. She was always kind-hearted, if naive. There's no cure, I told her. And she even believed me. But she insists that if she works with this group, they would find a way. Is there really a group that has such a power? I'm proud of her, but worried. Hopefully she'll come back to me soon, not for my sake, but for hers. You met a girl named Eclipse. That's Caitlin. Oh, how wonderful. Do tell, is she doing well? I'm sure she's doing famously. Sorry? You're saying she's, dead? That's ridiculous. You've probably never even met her for real. There's no need for a liar in this house. Be gone! Alright, I don't really think there's anything else of consequence around here, so we can probably just bop in here. You're being way too hard on yourself. How couldn't I be? It has to be my fault somehow, right? I'd rather believe that than assume someone did this to spite me. Ame probably just made a mistake. She does that a lot. Look.
That's true. Accurate. Like, gosh, just earlier today she had an Alakazam on her team.
Damn. The Alakazam hate.
Don't you damn me.
Damn. Look, we'll get it figured out, but crying about it won't help. Oh. Sup, Amy. Amy. Sorry. Please excuse me. Awesome. She doesn't like to cry in front of others. I love her, but the girl drives me crazy sometimes. I get that it's bad news.
Mood. Sorry. Dude, I don't. Sorry. Continue.
Haley. I get that it's bad news, but she's totally overreacting. Okay, context for you. She got a notification from Ame today. She was fired from her position as Elite Four. No warning, no explanation. Apparently she's been replaced already, but this isn't generally how this whole Reborn League thing goes down. Something's weird here, and I'm gonna figure out what. I'll be back in a bit. And now if you go here, I will remain here until I'm sure the city is safe. I'm sure there are others who need to speak to you, though. Let go of me already! Stop it! Aya! Good, you're here as well. Our terms are simple. We know you have the ruby ring. Give it to us, or the girl's life is forfeit. We aren't interested in negotiating. Like hell we aren't! This is Aya's life! Amy, just give them the ring! Whatever you do, do not give them the ring. It's a stupid piece of jewelry. It's not worth killing her. Apparently some people disagree. No surprise there. Team Meteor is not a pack of thieves. The ruby ring is not just a ring, it's a key. Does that matter? They're gonna kill her if you don't give it to them. They're going to kill her if we do give it to them. That doesn't even make sense. I bet you wouldn't be saying the same thing if it was one of your sisters over there.
You don't make sense.
Wrong. That doesn't change anything. Ugh. You don't make any sense. Sorry. First you'll say you'll do anything for your family, and then you say you willingly let her die for a stupid ring? Oh, so that's what this is about. Amy's ruby ring? That's right. Team Meteor is holding that girl hostage. So, sis, You'd really let me die over something so insignificant, huh? Oh boy. Amy, what about you? Would you be so callous as to throw me to the dogs for the sake of some stupid ring?
Duh.
Duh. Oh, how could you?
Eat
If
shit, bitch.
that's how it's going to be, then I just need to steal the ring to save myself. Wasn't it a hypothetical question? Charlotte took the ruby ring. Timir, I'll give you the ring. I have to run so these people don't take it back, but I'll give it to you at the power supply control center. Meet me there. Charlotte, no. Hurry, stop. I'll send someone down. Ow, ow, ow! Stop dragging me around! Aya! Yo, look.
You'll, what? Yeah, come on.
Okay.
You like that. That was a good one.
Yo, look, I don't expect everybody else to care about it like I do, but you could at least try giving a damn. Do you have any siblings? What? Yeah, I have a sister. You remind me of her. You're both impossible to deal with. So you're not close. But when you've been through as much as my sisters and I have, you learn to have absolute faith in each other. All we have is each other. If we doubted that, there would be nothing left. That's some kind of absolute faith you got for sure. She just got upset and ran off with her only way to save Aya. No, she just saved Aya herself. At least for the time being. What are you talking about? Because of her, Team Meteor no longer believes we have anything of value to them. Therefore, they have no reason to threaten Aya's life. Amy, if you want to confirm this, follow her. You know where she was headed, right? The same way you just came. Absolute faith always ends up broken in the end. We have to take matters into our own hands. Follow Charlotte. She said she had it to the Labradora Calcinon Control Center beneath the city. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's just a reminder. Off we go. I wasn't doing, like, full dialogues for each talking NPC at this point yet, clearly. How hard was it to write for Tara? No comment.
You shut the fuck up. She fucking loves that shit.
That was a pretty fun show, huh? Don't worry about the whole throw me to the dogs thing. You gave the right answer. In any situation where someone was making an ultimatum, you never acquiesce to it. Case in point, Team Meteor could kill every person in Labradora City, but that doesn't get them anything they need. So long as we don't bargain with them, they won't reach their goals. But if we give in like your little friend Hardy wanted to, that would have just validated all their power and encouraged that behavior. Frankly, reading this at this point, you know, as far as mistakes I made with the situation with Kay, like, I am aware that my part in that was, you know, enabling his suicidal behavior in the codependent relationship and stuff. And at some point that snapped the other way. And so I think this bit here, you know, was ultimately a whole conversation about, hey, maybe don't enable people, dumbass. What was my favorite episode to make? Probably 19. Even though it took a while. It was fun.
I'm glad you finally figured out how to like this game.
That's all it is. Rewards and punishment, really. We just have to train them. Turns out humans aren't that different from animals after all. Yeah, it's the last one.
Your psychology degree is talking.
No, that's something my mother told me.
Yeah. Is that different?
Probably not. But it's I think that it's worse, arguably.
I'm not saying that it is not arguably worse. I'm saying that I'm seeing some overlap and I don't like it.
That's fair. I don't care if that sounds manipulative or callous. I don't have the liberty of feeling guilt like most people.
Alice isn't in the story right now, though.
Oh, true. That right burned away years ago. I'll keep the ring for now. It'll be best to keep them on their toes and guessing about who's holding it. Knowledge is power, and that's power they won't have. So, Anna told me about the issue with Amatrain. You need to use dive, right? Don't ask me whose bright idea it was to make the fire leader enable a water machine. This will be my first proper battle.
Probably yours. You fucking suck at this shit on me.
Damn, yeah.
It's true, and you know it.
This will be my first proper battle in Mom's gym, so I gladly accept your challenge. We'd better do it now while Team Meteor is still distracted. I'll meet you over there. I never found Laura. Oh well, I'm sure she'll be fine. Alright. So, I recall a certain strat. No, I'm not gonna do the secret room. That's gonna be a pain to do on stream.
What?
A certain strat.
Strat. Oh, you said strap.
Oh no.
And a backpack. Like Dora the fucking Explorer.
Yeah. Here.
Dora!
That's me. I'm Dora. Sounds like Azri has the right idea. So I recall somebody in the Patreon server mentioned that there is a 3-turn win against Charlotte, and I haven't tried it myself yet. But I figured this was a good
chance to break your
try
video
it.
game in front of thousands of people.
Yes, exactly. So we're gonna see how that goes. All right, I have to remember how to do these puzzles first. This gym fucking lagged to hell, so much that Cass frequently used it as her interior benchmark for dealing with lag.
Yeah.
Because
this was my lag testing ground.
Fuck. I did not mean to have that on front. Because all of these floor events have to be their own separate event, and there's a fuck lot of them, so it went over the event limit. Do you think that Laura being so positive and forgiving to Bennett is what allowed Bennett to get better at the end? Would he have stayed in the dark without her? So it's worth mentioning that, like, he ultimately has his character development independent of her. I specifically choose to not confirm whether or not they're dating. I would rather that be up to player opinion. I was gonna say, I think that good faith and helping, good faith to people changing goes a long way. One of the things that we had to be careful of when I worked with youth transitioning out of jail was that, we did not just assume that they were criminal by nature, because, there is very much the power of, if they feel like everybody assumes they're a criminal, then they have no reason to not commit crimes. And I think that it's kind of the same way even with just, smaller developments.
Probably too busy mismanaging the league.
Oh, I fucked up there too. God damn it. I need to actually pay attention. Okay, so a couple of the comments on some past YouTube videos, specifically the ones with the logic puzzles, if I remember correctly, and the sate, were like, it's very reassuring to see Ame struggle with her own puzzles, and my feeling in response to that was that wasn't struggling, that wasn't what that was.
I'm gonna have to do the Victory Road puzzles, aren't I?
Now I'm struggling for some reason.
I'm gonna have to do those, huh?
No, it's fine.
Have you even done them? Ever?
No, I haven't, but I would like to.
And you want to do those on stream? People want to get out of here.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that. I would like to do them, but on stream is probably not the place for them.
It took me an hour to make some of them.
Yeah.
And then solve them.
Yeah.
The second one. not the hard one.
Yeah, I am going to stop after Charlotte. Okay, and I'm not going to bother with this fourth one for now. I recognize it's a relationship point and some extra dialogue, but I don't have the solution here, and, it's almost the hour. We can just kill Charlotte real quick. I'm so curious how this strategy is going to... if this still works. Somebody asked me to explain the story about Charlotte nerfs. There's not that much of a story there. It's just that Superheated was very strong, her team was very strong, and she had 2 Ninetales, which means she had Sun at the start and at the end, which means if you didn't bring Trick Room or specifically Rain, you died. And so this was a case where we improved this battle by nerfing her. Like, not just making this easier, but like just improving the quality of the battle for players so weren't pigeonholed into specific strats. But she was such a brick wall for so many episodes and had to be nerfed a lot of times in a row that she became somewhat infamous. I really don't think she's that bad now. Yes, she had 2 Ninetales. Not too shabby, huh? I believe you if you say Dark Valentine was choice scarf. I don't remember. There's been so much. There was also her fucking energy ball Typhlosion because I didn't realize that Typhlosion couldn't get that. Rain auto wins you have a lifetime otherwise, yeah. I know.
You didn't give it Solar Beam? On a Sun team?
Well, no, it was after the sun was removed. I switched the Solar Beam to Energy Ball.
You're fucked up, Ummy.
Damn. Not too shabby, huh? Turns out Mom had pretty good taste. She was a fire trainer too, you know. I didn't go out of my way to take after her or anything. The stars just kind of lined up. When the fire first started spreading, I was confused and scared. Same as any kid, I guess. But when I realized what was happening, and that there was nothing I could do, I was able to accept it. It was then that I saw how pretty the flames were. Little spirits of immolation dancing back and forth in the night air.
That just sounds like trauma.
It was art, really.
That's not what I said.
Because, see, when you realize you've done something that terrible, you have a choice. You can either accept the guilt and live with that burden for the rest of your life, or you can just... Not. Yeah. I wasn't interested in regret. Most kids would have been traumatized by finding out they killed their own parents, right? They'd hide away and cry at the sight of fire after that. That didn't sound fun. So I embraced it instead. Fire is destruction. Destruction is beauty. When there's nothing you can do to stop the creeping flame, all that's left is to sit back and watch the show. I'll put on a marvelous show for you too, so give in to it already. Alright. So let's see if this works. I guess I'm not at level cap, so it might not. I could also miss a rock slide. But YOLO. Oh, I immediately get outsped by the Typhlosion. And that kill. Okay, so that's an issue. And it missed. Okay, this has immediately not worked. I did EV train though. This is EV'd. Okay. What? Delphox outspeeds? Delphox? Let's just get Aurora Veil up since this is a fight, but this is probably going to be more like a slaughter now. Delphox is base 104, but is it speed increasing nature? Probably because of the field. Wait, how fast is Typhlosion? I thought Typhlosion was faster than Delphox. You have a good point about the Typhlosion. So 231 to 214. Wow, that's not even that close. What? Oh, but that's speed increasing.
Maybe it is bad at this game.
Maybe. And this is attack increasing. God, do I have to be plus speed for this strat to work? I was hoping neutral would be enough. Bummer. Wait, do I win anyway? Oh. Okay, well that strat didn't work, but... yeah, Lil Typhlosion is right. Damn, this is supposed to be so cool, where I click Rock Slide 3 times and win. Well... Thank you, Egg Rolls. Yes, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Egg Rolls got the right idea. Totally easy, totally clean. Rock Slide, Helping Hand. Click, 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 boom, done. Not even a problem. Charlotte's not even a factor. Thank you. I worked very hard on that Rock Slide sweep. Yeah, they can. Right, yeah. It's like the lava is sliding down from the eruption, and then it hardens into rocks. That's kind of like a rock slide. It's just a super slow, ultra hot rock slide. Yeah. So I'm still powerless, just like back then. Maybe I'm not entirely free of guilt after all. Doesn't matter. Here. That takes you up to level 75, plus the whole dive thing. I owe you this too. That's a big one. Burn, baby. Make Team Meteor pretty for me. We won by channeling party, yeah. Okay, alright. That's gonna be the stream today. Thank you all for coming and listening to my entire trauma dump, by the way.
You're welcome, Mommy. I should listen to all of it.
I listen
to it all the time.
Yeah. It's nice to finally be talking about that publicly because, like I said, I told specific people about it when it came up or as I needed to, but, you know, I couldn't really talk about that in the full way until having already, like, publicly discussed the truth behind the leaders.
Yeah, and then even for a while, you really kept that shit locked up under vault and key, just internally.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, no, not even kind of.
Well, because one of the things that I had said earlier is like I knew that I needed to not, like keep that bottled up internally even as a teenager, and so I was very open with it, like even just going back to school the week after that break I was frankly nonchalant about it, but that is frankly not the same as processing it and talking about it seriously. So
yeah, that's really just papering it over, because it seemed like that was just you sticking it under vault and key
under the guise of doing exactly the opposite. Damn.
Yeah, we had to fucking unwrap that shit.
We did. I mentioned that you had helped me with that, and I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of wrote it into your video game. I was like, I don't know if this is that hard. You did kind of literally do that plot line.
I did. That's true. I appreciate you. Wait, Autumn, did you just show up?
Ooh, do more trauma dumping. Everybody loves that.
I'm sorry, Autumn.
Or maybe there's a cat. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we haven't had Kira this stream.
That's because she's not sleeping.
Yeah, she's been hiding in the closet a lot. Let's see if we can get a cat for y'all before we go. Also, like, I think I just said this, but, like, again, you know, I appreciate you all being sympathetic about everything. I'm cats. Oh.
Okay, so I've planted the seed.
Oh, I see.
So what I have to do is, I have to give her really good scritches. And then that makes her remember that she likes really good scritches and that also maybe she should come hang out with us. So hopefully what happens now is that she comes out and then we can hang out with the cat really quick, cuz I'm not going to just yank her out of the closet. That's mean. I like her.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to give it 5 minutes to see if...
Okay, 5 minutes. We'll just hang out and chat for a
maybe
few.
she decides to get it. Yeah, dump some more trauma.
Dump some more. Hi.
Eat some more burrito.
I haven't eaten my burrito at all.
Mommy, you literally said earlier that you were going to eat your burrito.
I did, and I didn't get to unwrapping it before whatever I was waiting to eat it during finished.
Okay, so what other trauma can we talk about?
Oh my god, are we doing this?
Any other trauma?
There's the rest of it. It'll be in future parts of the game.
Oh, you didn't go into all of it?
No, not that. Just like, you know, thinking about things like Cal and Blake's with their dad, and then you know, Florinia's emotional repression, stuff like that.
Okay, but Florinia's emotional repression, that's some baby ass shit right there. It worked.
We have a cat.
Yeah, so anyway, unfortunately there's no space for me to bring the cat in. I can't get the cat on video.
Try.
Hi.
What is in that burrito? It is rice beans, lettuce, queso, gambler's sauce, salsa. I don't know. It's vegetarian. It's just vegetarian and queso. There we go. Hi, baby.
I can't believe you're letting me hold you.
She must be really needy. And your trick worked.
See? Told you it worked.
If I ever had any larvae crawl on any part of me, I didn't know about it and don't want to know about it.
Yeah, you're the best baby.
Hi, you.
She's like, where do I go? What do I do? She said.
She said.
Oh, she's at the microphone. Oh, she's toasty. Pet this baby. She's so toasty. See? She remembered that she likes us, and then maybe she should come hang out.
Yeah. I can't believe it worked.
What do you mean you can't believe it worked?
Well, I can totally believe it worked, but
I
like
told you it would work.
I can believe it worked, but it just worked so perfectly, you know.
I know how these things go.
You do. Hold on, I'm gonna. Oh, never mind.
What?
I'm not gonna do a goddamn thing.
I mean, she's probably also still thirsty. I did kind of yank her away from her water bowl.
Yeah, I was going to see if I could hold the microphone up to her and capture the purrs.
It would have been really cute.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, we got the cat, and we're gonna.
So
go
now you
ahead
don't have to trauma dump anymore.
Yeah, woo! All right, we're gonna go ahead and go. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Bye bye.